This is a demonstration of a sales dashboard created using the software of Kapow Technologies. In this sales dashboard created for this demonstration, we're going to display company information. We'll use Kapow Software to extract this company information from 4 sources out on the web. We'll use the websites of LinkedIn, TradeVibes, Hoovers, and Jigsaw. Kapow offers a visual development tool where you create automated entities called robots. For this demonstration, I created 4 robots to grab data from each of our 4 sources using Kapow. We'll get into those details later. Though here we've chosen 4 sites, Kapow Software makes choosing and adding your own data sources trivial. Therefore, while the concepts here are being applied to the specifics of a sales dashboard, this demonstration is more generally about obtaining web intelligence. Kapow Software allows you to access, enrich, and serve noise-free web data with no coding. You can then put this noise-free web data wherever you want it to go in your enterprise. Write it to a database or flat file, expose it as a web service, or access it easily within your favorite programming language as examples. Let's take a look at a diagram that will allow me to express in a little more detail what this demonstration is about. This diagram is meant to be read from bottom to top. Starting at the bottom, we see that Kapow Technologies software will allow you to extract data from multiple sources. These sources include web pages, data from Excel files and or PDFs or other flat files, data obtained from web services, data that exists in databases, and more. Kapow allows you to combine data from each of these sources, which can lead to some very powerful results. This data coming out of these multiple sources is usually fairly unstructured. Kapow enables you to normalize and add structure to this data as we shift the focus up to the middle of the diagram. As I mentioned in the last slide, you can put the data you extract wherever you want. For this demonstration, I used Kapow's powerful automated code generation to integrate the output of what I'm extracting into an open source web portal, which we make very easy to do. Let's now switch over to this portal that's running in a browser on my machine. This is our sales dashboard. I've already logged into this portal with a user account I created previously. And as part of the profile for this portal user, I provided my login credentials to LinkedIn, Jigsaw, and Hoovers, and we'll pass this information along to the robots along with a company name that I can enter into this field at the top so the robots know which information to extract. Kapow's robot technology can reach out to most anywhere a human can go on the web, provided they are given the credentials to do so, except, of course, they do it in an automated fashion. This includes the most secure of sites. I'll enter Kapow Technologies up here in the input field. And when I press the Execute Robots button, the 4 robots that I build are executed simultaneously. It's common for our customers to run hundreds of robot instances at once. Kapow software performs and scales quite well in multi-threaded environments. You can see the data about Kapow Technologies has come back fairly quickly. When I click on the TradeVibes tab in my application, you can see I have information returned about Kapow from that source. Or when I click on the Jigsaw tab, you see we have information about Kapow from there. Or clicking on the Hoovers tab, you can see how we've retrieved information about Kapow from Hoovers as well. We just grab the data here in real time. Keep in mind we make it very easy for you to run these robots 24/7 so that they're always working for you. Now when we click back to LinkedIn, where we see Kapow's robot has returned all of my contacts from there associated with Kapow Technologies. So how did I do this? How did I build the 4 data feeds to extract this web intelligence? The answer to this question lies in Kapow's robot development tool called RoboMaker. This is where you build those robots that I referenced earlier. In the screen that I'm switching to now, I have RoboMaker open with a robot whose purpose is to extract data from LinkedIn. If you look at the top of the screen in RoboMaker, you'll see there's a series of steps. RoboMaker, when it executes a robot, will follow these steps from left to right. Kapow makes it easy for you to create these steps by integrating a browser here in the middle of the screen that updates in real time as I'm creating the robot. This robot took me about 10 minutes to build, as did the other 3 that are hitting our other 3 website sources that feed our dashboard. Let's take a look at the step that I've selected currently just as an example. This step's called Enter Text, and it's telling the robot to enter an email address into the LinkedIn website for the purposes of logging in. I created this step earlier with a simple right-click on the browser view and a menu selection. This step isn't unique, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes in a step like this that makes our technology so much more than a simple visual script. Kapow's technology, for example, is resilient to changes on the web by default. Taking the example of the step that we have selected, if this login field on the LinkedIn website moves tomorrow, for example, this robot will not break. In fact, if LinkedIn changes literally hundreds of attributes about this field, its size, its color, whatever, this robot will continue to work. This resilience to changes on the web, plus the fact we have a built-in debugger to make it very easy to test and maintain these robots, makes our tool unbeatable from a reliability and low cost of maintenance perspective. Also note that all 4 web sources we're harvesting from in this demo use JavaScript and AJAX technologies to return and display their data. This is no problem for Kapow's technology and is important given the growing presence of these technologies on the web. While I don't have time to explain every one of these steps, when I click further along to the right in the series, you'll start to see the robot interact with the LinkedIn website in real time. For example, first the robot signs in to LinkedIn, given the information that we passed into it as input. Also taking the input, the robot's doing the search on the companies. Now the top branch of this robot I've dedicated to returning that company information that's found. The bottom branch is dedicated to taking the best match of the company that was passed in as input with the companies that were returned from the search, and then returning my LinkedIn professional contacts associated with that company. The robot's now ready to iterate through my return list of contacts. We can click further into this robot where it starts to extract the data. Kapow Software has done something very powerful to make it so that we can return the number of degrees away my LinkedIn contacts are away from me as an integer. If you're familiar with the LinkedIn website, and you can see it here, you may know that the number of degrees an individual is away from you in your professional network is expressed on the web page as an image. Kapow allows you to transform and normalize data so that if you look back at our dashboard, this is expressed as an integer and not an image. Now, using Kapow, it's very easy for me to extract this as an image if I had wanted to do so, but in this case I didn't need to, so I didn't. So one important question to ask at this point is, what are your alternatives to solve this problem and to be able to extract and make use of the web intelligence that we've harvested in this demonstration if you didn't use Kapow's technologies? The answer is not pretty, unfortunately. If a website provides APIs, then you have to read boring documentation and write a bunch of boring code. If the target you're going after does not provide APIs, which is the norm, then you're really out of luck, as you might consider the time-consuming process of building fragile code that's costly to create and maintain. Either way, it's much longer than the 10 minutes it took me to build the robots that you saw earlier. Kapow can take all of the coding, waiting, and these initial and ongoing maintenance costs away. This concludes the demonstration of a sales dashboard created using the software Kapow technologies. Please contact Kapow for more information, a custom demo, and or a free trial by sending an email to sales@kapowtech.com or calling 1-800-805-0828. Thank you.